Today we're going to replace the rear NOx sensor on this Dodge Ram with a Cummins diesel engine. So we've got the front NOx sensor mounted towards the front of the vehicle. This is the rear one located closest to the rear bumper. So you can see I've got the module here with the sensor. It really comes as a one-piece unit. And so if we look on the passenger side frame rail up here, we can see where the module is mounted to the frame rail. So I'm going to have to remove two nuts there using a 10mm socket, disconnect the electrical connector. Then I've got the actual NOx sensor over here kind of on the driver's side of the exhaust here. So here we are kind of looking above the drive shaft, and now you can see where my sensor is actually located, and you can see the module mounted up on the frame rail there. So a little different view of it here. And next thing I'm going to do is actually take my oxygen sensor wrench, or 7/8 crow's foot, and I'm going to get a firm grip on this and remove this, as well as disconnect the electrical connector and remove the two 10mm nuts. So again, here we are at the sensor, and I'm going to take my oxygen sensor socket along with my 3/8 ratchet, and I'm going to break it loose. Fortunately, as you can tell, it's a relatively new model truck, and then I can spin this loose. Now, some other vehicles where there's a little rust, I'm going to have to apply a little heat to it to get it off here. But basically, I'm just going to thread this out, and you can see I've already got the wire unclipped from a mount up on the frame rail there. So I'll thread this out, then I'm going to go over to the module and disconnect it and remove it from the frame. Okay, now again, we're looking at the underside of the truck. I've got the passenger side frame rail here. You can see where the rear trailing arm mounts to the frame. And so then we've got the module located up here. So I'm just going to take a 1/4" ratchet with a 10mm socket, and there's the two nuts on here. And again, these come relatively loose quite easily. So crack them loose with a wrench, and I'm just going to, with my fingers, spin them off the rest of the way here. And I'm going to disconnect the electrical connector, simply pinch on the tab. There's no additional locks on there, so see, I got that out of the way pretty easy. And again, hopefully your exhaust is nice and cool. This one's a little warm here. You have to use caution, but you'll see once I get the nuts off, the module drops down, and I can pull the sensor back from around, and here we go. We've got the old unit uninstalled. Now we can go ahead and install our new one. Okay, now we've got the old unit off. I've got my new unit here. And so you can see I've got this plastic protective cover protecting the threads, and there is a little bit of anti-seize on the threads of this unit. And so I'm not going to install any more than that. But basically I'm going to reverse the process that I used to remove it. I'm actually going to install the sensor part of it first. You'll notice on the new one here, the threaded part actually does spin free, so we don't have to worry about twisting the wiring here, but it's still a good practice to go ahead and install this first. Then we're going to go ahead, install the module back on the frame rail here. We'll make our electrical connection. Going to double check any trouble codes, clear them if they were previously set, and do any rerun procedures required by the manufacturer. And we're going to verify that our job is complete. Hopefully now you understand what it takes to replace the rear NOx sensor on a Dodge truck with a Cummins engine.